The original Naruto anime had tons of amazing fight scenes between Kakashi, Gara and more. Here are the best ones for Naruto Shippuden. One of the famed big three of Shonen Jump is Minato Kishimoto's Naruto, the tale of a cursed boy who aspires to become the next Hokage and become a hero everyone can admire and respect. He gets into plenty of fights along the way with his ninja career and proves himself every time. While Naruto Shippuden has some of the biggest fights and features many new characters, the first major story arc with younger Naruto is not to be overlooked. Some of the most creative and personally intense battles take place during Naruto's younger days, and now it's time to review the coolest fights in this part of the story, in no particular order. Before we start, if you guys find this video interesting, please let us know to touch the like button, and if you enjoyed the content of our video playlist and want to see more, please click subscribe and don't forget the notification bell to get the latest updates. Number 10. Naruto, Tsunade and Jaraya vs Orachimaru and Kabuto. This is one of the more chaotic battles that take place in pre-Shippuden storyline, and it involves three famed Sannin, or the legendary three ninjas, Orachimaru, Jaraya and Tsunade. It's an earth-shaking battle with no holds barred. Orachimaru approached Tsunade to have his arms healed, but negotiations broke down and a 3 vs 2 battle soon erupts. The Rasengan, healing jutsu, summoning jutsu, chakra scalpels, and more are all showcased in this fight, and Orachimaru does well against the odds before finally retreating. Number 9. Rockley vs Gara. This is one of the 10 duels to take place during the tower phase of the Chunin exams, and it reflects one of the recurring themes of Naruto, putting raw inborn talent versus hard work and diligence. Some ninjas are born gifted and others have to earn it. Gara roots the awesome power of the one-tailed Shikamaru, while Rockley trained like crazy to become a Jaijutsu master. In this fight, Rockley suffers defeat, but not before showcasing some truly incredible combat moves and pushing Gara pretty far. My guy has moved to tears. Number 8. Shikamaru vs Tamara. This has truly extraordinary and bizarre fight scene during the final stages of the Chunin exams. Although Shikamaru has a support-style combat style, using shadows to control people, he made it to the final tournament and was pitted against the fan using Tamara. Tamara was largely on the defensive, trying to avoid Shikamaru's shadow clone, while trying to come up with a counter-attack plan. Being the boy genius he is, Shikamaru outmaneuvered her and seemed to have won, only to surrender due to exhaustion. He's brilliant, but still has room to grow. Number 7. Squad 7 vs Zabuza Boruji. This is one of the first serious fights to ever take place in this series. Early on, Naruto was still to accept C rank mission, and the Squad 7 was asked to escort a bridge builder back to his homeland, the Land of Waves. But Water Ninja attacked them, the first 2 Chunin, then the Rogue joined Zabuza. Despite the odds, Naruto and Sasuke worked as a seamless team to outmaneuver their foe, and Kakashi took over with Sharingan Eye and some quick water jutsu. Number 6. Naruto vs Nechi Hugo. Here is another battle that took place in the final stages of the Chunin exam. And unlike Shikamaru vs Tamara's duel, it was an intense slugfest. Nechi's Bakugan Eyes and devastating 8 Trigems jutsu were powerful weapons against Naruto. But this time, guts and training finally triumphed over talent, and Naruto's stubborn will and creative use of battlefield allowed him to land surprising blows on his opponent and claim a stunning victory. This is one of the many instances where Naruto's optimism and grit inspired a former enemy. Number 5. Naruto vs Gara. Naruto vs Gara is perhaps one of the most emotional and intense battles in part 1, tying with Naruto's duel vs Sasuke. In fact, Naruto fought Gara on the same day as he fought Neji. It was one Jinchuriki vs another, and both boys had long since suffered the pain of housing horrible monsters that made them perish. By the end, both of them were exhausted, and Naruto opened up his heart and shared experiences with tearful words. From that moment on, Gara was a villain for them all. Number 4. The third Hokage vs Orachimaru. Orachimaru was hellbent on crushing the Leaf Village once and for all, and only the aging third Hokage stood a chance against his might. While the Sound, Sand and Leaf ninjas fought across the town, this boss battle was taking place on a rooftop. Incredible and forbidden jutsu were used on both sides, from resurrection to death seals, and the third Hokage gave his very life to seal Orochimaru's arm and render them powerless. He may have died, but Orochimaru was forced to retreat, and the Rule of Fire lived on. Number 3. Kakashi, Azuma, and Kurine vs Itachi and Kisame. This battle wasn't terribly conclusive, but it was the first fine impression of what Kisame and Itachi are capable of. Both the Kasi members arrived in the Reach village to capture Naruto, but these three journey intercepted them. Kisame's brute strength and water jutsu proved very scary, but Itachi's brilliant tactics and vicious Mengaki Sharingan were even more fearsome. Kakashi endured mind-shattering torture in Itachi's hand before Maka arrived and the Akatsuki finally retreated. Number 2. Naruto, Rockley and Gara vs Kimaru. Kimaru is a teenager who used a bone-based Keki Kenkai and is too powerful for any single hero to take on. Naruto challenged him first, but not with the battling of Shadow Clones could put a stop to Kimaru's rampage. So Rockley arrived next and demonstrated some literal junk food, but Kimaru wasn't yet defeated. Finally, Gara arrived and challenged this bony monster, demonstrating some new powers along the way, but even Gara was in the ropes by the time Kimaru's hefty illness fed up with him, and so Kimaru died. Before we get into our number 1 best Naruto fight, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. Naruto vs Sasuke. And now it is time for the final battle of the pre-Shippuden arc of this anime. Sasuke fled to the Leaf Village to pursue power, and his cursed mark was making him stronger than ever. Out of loyalty, Naruto pursued him despite the danger. Both rivals faced off at the waterfall, and they drew right there under the towering statue of Madara Uchiha and the first Hokage. Sasuke's curse and Chidori faced off against Naruto's Demon Fox Cloak and Rasengan, and the results are climactic to say the least. Not to mention the intense emotional stakes, where the ambition of friendship triumphed in Sasuke's mind. Naruto is indeed a contender for one of the best animes of all time. With such relatable characters and interesting backstories, who wouldn't love watching Naruto? Do you agree with our list? Were there fights of Naruto that we forgot to mention? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you want to give your family a surprise gift for any special occasion, you can always check our website and look for creative and adorable gifts. This has been Music Chess with Music Anime Taku, signing out.